Okay, so here is my current work of genius. See how many frames per second I lose from recording. So I'm working on, oh my word, so I've lost, well, I lost 20, about 30 frames per second I lost from importing entitas. But I'm hoping that will pay off in the future. And I lost another 100 frames per second by using my recorder. So, pretty shocking poor. So, I've created this system whereby you've got footsteps, you've got an vector controller, third person, free controller. I've used EnviroSpawn to spawn 1,000 bushes, and I've created these bushes, or I've updated these bushes with a nature shader that rotates, well, deforms the mesh a little bit, gives it a kind of look, and I've also added a physics system that allows you to knock the bush about. Got a sound playing. And yeah, I'm reasonably happy, but obviously I want to get some more performance. So I was looking at Unity's ECS thing, and it just looked like incomprehensible garbage to me, to be honest. So I thought there's got to be a way to abstract it. So I found out about entitas. So the question is, how do I go about converting my code into entitas, which is open source? So I've got as far as getting it to work, or I think it's working. I've imported it, or copied the folder. I've got Jenny. It seems to be work. I'm a bit lost, if I'm honest. So how do I go about converting this project into something which I can optimize? So I've got a spawner here that spawned 1,000 of these bushes. If I bring up the bushes, go back to bushes. Right, the bushes. Come on, where are you? The bushes are quite sophisticated, because what I've done is on the top level I've put we can remove that script. Remove, thank you. So we've got a sphere collider, which when you run into it, it interacts on a trigger script, which I got from 3D Games Kit Lite, and it sets the bush active. What's it missing? I think that's the let's tidy this up. Minus. That was the mesh deformation I was using, but I got rid of that. It was too much performance. But so it comes in and activates the physics as you come in, and then when you leave, it leaves it. And it also, when you leave, it tries to reset the position of everything. So it's a collision script basically. Interact on trigger, and I've dragged the bush physics. And the bush physics is a system where I've got a sphere where you can collide in. That's attached to a hinge joint, and a root anchor, and there's a spring system at the top to bring it back again. So it basically falls over, but it has this spring to try and drag it back into the correct position. And if all that fails, when you leave the bigger sphere around the object, it tries to reset everything back anyway. So it's quite a complicated object, so I've not got a clue how I could turn this into get entitas to work its magic on it. So the qubits, so starting again, we've got this anchor point which is connected to another hinged rod, and that hinge rod has got the object on it. bit like a post. And it's also a sphere in the middle. So you bump the sphere. It's a bit like a punching bag. That moves this thing, which then moves the bush. And plays a sound as well. There's another thing. There's another collider on the bush, which plays a little sound with a swish as you go in through the bush. All very clever, all very good. And we've also got a LOD1 bush, which has got no scripts on it. It's just the mesh and planes and the texture. So that's the LED system. It's super aggressive. So it's only right up close that you get all the clever stuff. All the rest of the time you just render the standard bush. And I mean, we could go even further and make it a billboard at a distance, but we've got the culling. To be honest, we might as well just cull it. Where are we? There. So we could cull that even further if we wanted to, squeeze a bit more performance out of it. Although, to be honest, it's about there. I don't want to see too much popping, but let's put it out right. Maybe we'll see it probably pop now. So let's save that. Save. And the question is, really, how do I get entitas to work its magic on this? Let's hit play and see how we're getting on. I mean, if I have... Damn you. All the bushes have... The frames have gone dreadful. Yeah, I don't know why the frames are so bad. And the bushes have started to float again. I did tell them not to. I think it re-imported EnviroTas, not Enviro script, and I think it overwrote my flipping script, which I'm quite cross about. Have a look. Well, it's still got. Why is that enabled? Shouldn't be enabled. Shouldn't be enabled ever. Regenerate all in scene. Right. And it's lost my additional script there. Basically, I added this little ball with a generate for him to fix enviro spawn so that the bushes don't act like bubbles and just float because they've got colliders on them. Let's try that again. We can actually rip this script out. Enviro spawn isn't run at runtime, or shouldn't be. Okay. There we go. So everything's working, apart from the horrendous frames per second, but that's partly due to the fact that I'm recording it. Recording it has knocked 100 frames per second off this, which is fair enough because it's something to record it. I could set up Unity's recorder, but I can't be bothered. I'm just happy to factor that in. So, yeah, the question is, how do I begin to use entitas to try and optimize this? I have a feeling this, but I just don't. So we're talking about data, separating data and behavior. So the data would be the position of it all. Fair enough in a broad sense, but not in a specific sense, because they're going to be knocked about a bit, like a punch bowl. You know, when you punch training bag. So maybe it's just not relevant. I don't know. We've got data and we've got behaviour. So what's the behaviour? The behaviour is all the colliders and what to do when you get hit by the colliders. So that would all be in whatever it is. What is it? Oh, I've already forgotten what you call it. Not data. I just don't know. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. I mean, I have a feeling I need to be using a jobs burst system for this, and have these, because they can be completely independent, And bear in mind, it only really becomes active as you get close to them. All the other ones are switched off, or should be. So all these other things could just be considered as placeholders, and they could just be data, which is X, Y, Z. Put a bush here. It's only when you get close, within the whatever range. I think I've put it as, let me have a look, about 10 meters. Within 10 meters, it starts becoming a proper physics system. That's the only way I can get, do remote performance out of this. Yeah, 10 meters for the overall radius, and I've got to make sure. Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've just noticed that should be disabled, so that's probably going to give me a huge boost to performance there. Right. Right, okay. That's a lot better, although the flipping things have enabled themselves again. Ooh, you're making me cross. That's not you. I didn't enable you, so I need to fix this script, which I will do, and set off the boolean so it switches itself off and doesn't keep doing. Oh, I did it again. Regenerate. Let's see. Pop, pop. Oh, I'll have to do that off. It's too annoying. Well, I could do it now. It shouldn't be too hard. I know what I need to do. Right, sod it. So we're getting 60 frames a second now. So I boosted it by 30 frames a second just by switching off the default setting for the physics system. Pretty impressive that it only cost me 30 frames for that, to be honest. But hey ho. Right, let's fix this environment spawn. It's annoying me too much. Right, 1, 2, get in. Okay. Yeah, E enabled equals false. And that needs to be set at startup, wherever start is. Yeah, it starts as false. Oh, come on. Why are you taking so long? Okay. B enabled equals false. That should be switching off after instancing. Update data. Okay. Okay. Evaluate, I don't know what evaluate, insert, place, remove. What a mess with them. Public void reset. Instance objects. Where shall I put it? Here, right at the end. It's off. Reset. Might mess things up, but I don't care. Let's switch off. That should have switched off anyway. So, regenerate. Alright, now click. Yeah. That's more like it. Instantly. Cool. I like that. Okay, so file save. Okay. Play. Oh, and now we've got errors. That'll be that line I just put in. Okay. Well, I obviously didn't need that one, so I'll just delete it. Although there's no reason for it not to work. Close, save. Right. Let's try again. Invalid token. Right, regenerate, see if this works again. It's not gonna work. Oh yeah, it worked alright. That's fine, it's just really quick. Okay, file, save, file, to project. Right, hit play. So, just fixing that because it was doing my thing. Yeah, so yeah, here's the basic idea. Beat the hell out of the ball. Right. Although the system I ended up using is a bit more sophisticated than that. But it's a similar principle. We've got 3 parts to it. Okay, so yeah, I just need to optimize it. Maybe I'll just go back to Burst and Burst compiler and job system. Even that does my head in too. Ugh. But if anyone can think of how I can, well, or has any learning resources where I can get started at this, you know, with with Jenny or entitas, that would be really helpful because I'm a bit lost.